welcome to my probably last video that I am ever gonna do, probably. I don't know, I'm pretty sure. So basically, in the last several days, I've been going insane. I have had plenty of things to do. I haven't done videos. So basically, what's been happening is I've been occupied with school. I've been occupied with like Lego that's 6,000 pieces long that I didn't have the motivation to start doing until yesterday. I barely finished the first two pieces of that. But the one thing that's occupied the most these days is what you see here. What is this, you ask? I call this Chess 2. If you don't consider first-person shooter chess to be Chess 2, this is Chess 2. This is the beginning of my version of chess. Now you would say, why? Why would you make like another version of chess? We already have one. There's no point. Well, let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure there is a point, because why do you make an 8x8 board game, alright, that has 16 pieces for each person? So out of 64 squares, you have 32 that are occupied. And out of the 32 that are occupied, how many are really useful to checkmate? One singular one, the fucking queen. Why can't the queen do every single move except the knight's move? Why? What's the point of having 16 pieces per person if there's one singular piece that can do all of the moves? What's the point? Why? Why would they do that? Well, there's nothing you can really do about it except, well, complain, of course. But why would you complain? Why would you complain if you can just create Chess 2, the second official, don't look that up, game of chess ever invented? Well, version of chess, more like game of chess. So, what is Chess 2? Well, I would start by saying the modifications of Chess 2 that I made from Chess 1. Sorry for my cough, I've been having a cold lately. So, Chess 2 basically has 6 squares by 6 squares, so 36 squares in total. That's basically like almost 30 squares less than the original chess. With that, you only have a 6x6 board. So what do you do with a 6x6 board? Well, you have 6 pieces in total. 6 pieces in total. That seems pretty simple, right? Well, 6 pieces for each person is 12 pieces, and 12 on 36 squares makes a third of the entire thing occupied. For me, I want Chess 2 to be a game of enjoying, not Chess 1. Oh, I need to think about this. Oh, I need to practice 3 months. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. Oh, well, actually, you need to move your king. Well, actually, you need to checkmate him by using your queen. Well, I'm gonna tell you to shut the fuck up, alright? Suck it up and listen to this amazing Chess 2 that I have created. For now, I've only done the art for the peasant, which is the original piece. It's a simple game, simple moves. What does the peasant do? Well, there's 3 peasants. Ignore this one. For now, I'm going to portray this as the king, because like it's just an extra piece. So what the peasants do is they can only move in diagonal lines. Is it simple? Yes, it is simple. Wow, such a surprise. But the one thing is the peasant cannot eat pieces until they pass the middle line. Why would you do that, you ask? Why? Well, to not be able to camp your peasants just to eat the other player's peasants. You have to advance them. This forces the player to try at least to checkmate the other one. Because I don't think chess was ever about, oh, you have to eat the most pieces possible. Because in general, you can just checkmate a guy in chess with a queen and with like a bishop. You put the bishop right where you want to put the queen, then you put the queen right where the king is stuck, and he can't eat your queen, because if he eats your queen, the bishop eats it. That's it. But these days, people have been obsessed with, Oh, you know, I have to eat the most pieces possible. That's how I win. No, you do not eat pieces to win chess. You, you just don't do that. You have to checkmate the person. So this forces the player to checkmate the person. So when you're here, there you go. You can start eating pieces, and his other pieces can't eat you, except if they advance their other pieces. And if you're here, for example, and he has one of his pieces here, well, you can't eat him. So you have to put here. So if you were to put one peasant here and one peasant here, you couldn't move your peasant. Except if you do this and you go the other way, or if you put, well, there's 3 peasants in total. That doesn't matter now. For now, I think I've presented the peasant enough. The second piece is the king. For now, as I said, this is the simple layout of the king, blah, blah, blah. It resembles a peasant, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that really matters for now. I'm gonna do the art later when I have the motivation to do the art. So, this king just does basic king movements. What does the king do? Well, he's lazy. The king is lazy. He just moves one square diagonally and one square in front. The king cannot do anything. Too bad, because the king was meant to not be able to do anything. The king was meant to be protected. He was meant to be lazy. That is the real point of chess. Protect, keep your pieces. So, I just realized that kind of contradicted my point of, like, you don't have to eat all of the guy's pieces. But my point is, if you want the king to be protected, you have to use your pieces. You have to advance your pawns, well, your peasants, in this game, to be able to eat the other guy's peasants and not be able to be eaten by their peasants. So now you're forced to advance the peasants and to protect the king with other pieces, which is, for example, the noble, which is the third out of 4 unique pieces. The noble, what he does is basically he can move adjacent to the king. If you're not an expert in math, adjacent just means around. For example, next to would mean like this on the black squares, but adjacent also counts the diagonal squares around the king. To be honest, don't feel stupid. I didn't know what adjacent meant until I started playing Minesweeper. So yeah, now you know what adjacent means. Now you know what the noble does. Can only move adjacent to the king. So for example, if the king is here, the noble would only be able to move here like this. So another technique is keep the king like on the second square starting from down. So now you can move the noble all around the king. He can only move one square, but at least now you can move it all around. Like that, one square per move. Yeah. The last piece is the guard. What the guard does is, before, what he did is, yes, you're gonna think this is completely absurd, but the guard could move in a spiral way, all around. He could move in a spiral like this, in a spiral like that, in a spiral like that, and in a spiral like that. So basically he would annihilate every single piece that's around it. Would that make sense? Did I say I wanted a new queen? No. Am I insulting myself? Yes. That is absolutely stupid. We do not want a new queen. So we don't get a new queen. Instead, I nerfed it, just like I nerfed the queen. Now, the only thing that the guard can do is move diagonally away from the king. So if he's here, for example, he can move like this and like this. If he's here, he can't move like this because this is diagonal towards the king, but he can move like this. If he's here, he can move away like this, but not like this because it's towards the king. It's like this. And he can move towards the king. 2 squares maximum. How could he move towards the king 2 squares? Because that means he would be away from the king. Well, that's why I said 2 squares max. He can move towards the king. If he wants to move towards the king, he stays towards the king. That's it. He can only move one. If he wants to move diagonally away from the king, if we're here, for example, now he could move 2. That's why the guard is technically like a queen now, just a lot less powerful. Now, the bad thing, I have no idea how to code. The only thing I learned to code is Python that I still remember. Python is super easy, it's just arithmetic, that's why I remember it. Now, C sharp. How am I supposed to code in C sharp? First of all, I don't have the time. Second of all, I don't have the motivation to do that. I have to wah, move this here, wah, move this there. Alright, so now how do I code that? How do I make the guy move here and say he can't eat pieces and past the point he can eat pieces? How do I make the piece eating system? Do I make it like when he touches the piece disappears? Because now he can't take back his move, he has to go here. How do I make it register his move and him not being able to take it back? All the stuff like that, all the code is... Oh, code just hasn't been passionating me as much as before. It just doesn't speak to me as much as it did before. So maybe if I learn some C sharp, which I'll try to do, maybe I'll like it more. But we'll see, we'll see. So I'd have to finish the art for this, code it, and for now, that's probably it. I've said all I wanted to say about Chess 2. I've made all the plans for how I want the designs to be. And, well, I haven't been making videos, but I will be making one soon on, drumroll please. I have no idea yet. I have no idea what I'm gonna make a video on. Seriously, I have no idea. I probably will make a video on Overwatch, saying like, showing how I try to get better or what I think about the game or stuff like that. Uh, Stuff like that, yeah. I'll see, but yeah, for now that's it. I'll see like you, my singular viewer, next time. And yeah, goodbye. Bye. Goodbye.